Well, some growing wildfires are threatening communities in Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba at this hour. More than 6,000 people are under an evacuation order across those three provinces. There are concerns that the hot, dry, windy conditions could make the situation worse over the coming days. And Sarah is tracking all of this for us. And let's start in Saskatchewan, where there are a number of significant fires burning.
Yes, and the largest evacuation order that we are seeing as well is in northern Saskatchewan. This is an expansion on an evacuation order that was already in play for Pelican Narrows, but now it has been expanded to all of the Peter Ballantine Cree Nation. It brings the total number to 4,000. And this is the area of the province that we're talking about here. Is essentially a single access road. They're very, very much concerned that the fire is going to come too close to that for people to be able to leave. And so as of 1 p.m. today, they have ordered all 4,000 people living in this area. Some have already left, but they want the entirety to evacuate either by bus or vehicles to get somewhere to safety. As I say, that's the largest evacuation, but there are other communities that we're watching closely here. Candle Lake being one. Areas around Candle Lake have evacuated, and that's because of the Shoe Fire, which is a very large fire, more than 200,000 hectares in size. It's the result of two fires merging, now known as the Shoe Fire. Candle Lake has not been yet ordered to evacuate. At last check, we were reporting this fire was about 21 kilometers away from that resort community, but there are other smaller communities that already have, like Canoe Lake, 250 residents having to leave, 380 residents from Hall Lake. In Saskatchewan, the Public Safety Agency did speak to both the wildfire season they are seeing right now and what they are anticipating to come based on what they're seeing right now. But I want to play you that.
We have probably not seen a fire season with as much impact and activity in the last couple decades this early. So two things to consider is some of these large fires will take the entire season to be monitored before they are completely out. And in addition, as you mentioned, at some point we will start to see lightning. On the positive note, some of those lightning fires, of course, will be coming with rain, which we haven't seen in some time and would be really appreciative at this point in time.
And let me get Manitoba in here. We have talked a lot about Manitoba in terms of the wildfire season they've had. Some of those earlier evacuations from weeks ago, people have been allowed to return home, but some fresh evacuation orders to tell you about out of Lynn Lake, approximately 600 residents ordered to leave, and then a much smaller evacuation of Sheridan, but 60 people live there, and that was yesterday. The Lynn Lake evacuation happening today.
So lots of fires covering lots of area, and let's take a look at what's happening in the town of Swan Hills, Alberta. Yeah,
Swan Hills, Alberta. It's in northern Alberta. The evacuation order, there was preparation for this. They had anticipated, or warned anyway, that they might have to leave. And then 6 p.m. last night, they were told that they did have to go. That is because the fire that's burning there is, at least at last check, about 7 kilometers just north of the community. So now about 1,300 residents who live in that area having to evacuate to the south. They have gone to the community of Whitecourt, where there's a reception center set up for them. They are being told to have brought or at least be prepared to be out of their homes for at least 3 days as they work to keep that fire and protect that community. And it's something that this community is not unfamiliar with, the danger of forest fires. About 2 years ago, residents talking about how they recall that situation, and they feel a little bit maybe prepared this time because they have gone through it before. But we did, CBC crew did catch up with some of these evacuees in Whitecourt, and here's some of what we heard.
It's hard. You think, okay, I've worked all my life to get this, and just praying and hoping that the good Lord is going to make sure that our home is safe, our community is safe, and everybody's out. And that's all that you think about, eh?
And of course, when we're talking about Alberta, we often do think about energy, and the energy sector is affected by this particular fire. Aspen Leaf Energy has evacuated staff from the area, and that's, of course, they have to pause production, normally producing about 4,000 barrels of what they call oil equivalent per day, but that's temporarily on hold.
Of course, this program is live. We'll be live until 9 o'clock Eastern, and if there are any updates, of course, you will have those for us, Sarah. Thank you. Well, our next guest has a business affected by these wildfires and fears it may have suffered hundreds of thousands of dollars in damages. Darren Sakosski owns an outfitting business in Smeaton, Saskatchewan. It provides equipment, supplies, accommodations, and guided services for outdoor activities such as bear hunting. And he joins us from Martensville, Saskatchewan. And Darren, first of all, thank you for joining us. And I want to start with your reaction from when you saw your business burning.
Really, honestly, there's no words. It's like watching, you hear people saying they watched their dreams burn, and I literally did that. It was devastating. The force of the fire and how it moved so fast, and I don't even have words for it. It was absolutely amazing and devastating at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, the words you're using do go a long way to giving us a sense of the power and the speed and the destruction of it. Fortunately, there was nobody there when this happened. But in terms of damages to your business, what do you think you're facing?
I think we lost everything. We haven't been in there yet. It's too hot. But we really believe that everything is gone. I watched the force of that fire, and we have cabins and ATVs and boats and different equipment like that. I think it's all gone. I honestly am ready to walk in there and see the dark side of the moon.
Yeah, we're as we speak to you, we're looking at some of the pictures that I think you posted on Facebook, and it looks like Armageddon, in the distance. Now, you are going back, I think, later this week to check things out. That's going to be a difficult trip. You must be kind of steeling yourself to deal with it.
I honestly don't think it's hit me yet. I think it'll hit me when I round the corner and see the devastation firsthand. It's like a living nightmare. You work so hard on something you love so much, and it can be taken away in a few minutes.
And help those of us in other parts of the country, I'm in Vancouver, understand the geography here from where your business is compared to where you are now in Martensville. In Martensville, are the fires still far away?
Yeah, the fires are about 2.5 hours northeast of Martensville. We're not in any danger here. But the fires they keep growing, and I've never seen anything like it. We don't have the resources here in Saskatchewan to fight these fires all at once. So they've been picking back and forth and trying to fight a little bit here and a little bit there on each side. And it's overwhelming them. It's overwhelming our resources.
So you're dealing with your particular business loss, which you've described to us, and I'm sorry that you're going through this. What about in the community of Martensville? So the fires, as you say, are still a ways away. What's the mood in town?
Me personally, I've had a lot of friends stop by and offer help, or I have a really good friend base where if I call somebody, they're going to be there. And we're just really waiting to see what the devastation is.
And what should people in the rest of the country know about what your region is going through right now? Well,
just be prepared. Fire season starts as soon as the snow is gone, as far as I'm concerned. Being prepared is number one, and getting crews on these fires immediately and as fast as possible is a key factor in getting these fires under control before they get too far.
Well, I'm sorry your business has potentially been wiped out. I appreciate you telling us your story. It's important, I think, for people across the country to hear it, Darren. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Darren Sakosski has an outfitting business caught in the fire in Smeaton, Saskatchewan. Our next guest had to close her business due to the wildfires. And for her, the concern is not just her livelihood. Her son is a firefighter who's battling the flames in Saskatchewan. Shelly Lawrence is the co-owner of the Rainbow Lodge. That's just outside Narrow Hills Provincial Park. Thanks very much for joining us on what I know is a difficult day. You have been evacuated due to these fires. How are you and your family doing?
We're coping. It's day by day. For us, it's been hour by hour. There's been some rough days when it's impacted us 3 times now. I did get good news this afternoon that Piprell Lake is okay now, and they're mopping it up, and they're going to move their equipment to other places they need it.
Yeah,
we have been burned without us.
Yeah, it's nice. Sorry about that. We have a bit of a delay, so I think sometimes I might accidentally talk over you while you're talking, so I apologize for that. You're the owner of the Rainbow Lodge, as I mentioned, so that's in the middle of Narrow Hills Provincial Park. Do you have any sense of the damage your property has endured?
From what I've read today, or I've seen updates that we were told that the whole 41 sites were gone in our Tiger Bay section, but today they said 23. That's just reading on Facebook, so I don't know if that's confirmed for sure. We really won't know the extent until we're allowed back in there.
Yeah, and that's got to be tough, right? Like to not be able to just get definitive word about what's happening, and you have to just sort of sit there and wait for news. The waiting must be difficult.
Absolutely, it is. It's the not knowing, 100% not knowing what's happening.
So another dimension to this is your son. He's a firefighter, and he's working on these fires. And so what goes through your mind knowing that he's out there battling these flames?
It's been hard at times. He's smart. He handles himself well. But at the same time, as a mother, you're always worried about your kids. He always responds, usually when he can, but sometimes you can go days without hearing from him.
And when's the last time you spoke to him?
He's actually on days off now, so I've been with him the last couple days here.
And then he heads back into it.
Yeah, and then he'll head back in.
So I asked you go ahead, I'm sorry.
He's into management, so he handles some of the larger crews that are out there on the front lines.
So you're waiting to find out more about what's happened to your business, and you just have to wait for the news. And I think you touched on your home community earlier, but what do you know about your home?
Well, my home's okay. The community itself, it's been impacted all around us. Every single resort up there has been impacted. I've heard things about East Trail Lake today that their campgrounds, they lost some of their campgrounds, as well as Pine Groves lost some stuff today too. Lower Fishing Lake, the fire base, they lost their kitchen and some vehicles. Little Bear was still in base holding and candles on pre-evacuation, and they moved the fire guys over to Candle Lake Hall right now, base there. So everybody's safe. That's the main thing.
That is the main thing. That is huge. And Shelly, one last question, and I know we talked a little bit about this, but I'd like to finish this interview by asking you just how you're handling all of this tonight, how you're coping.
I'm actually coping well, maybe because we do have a relief on our own property that we may be good and out of the woods. Like, it's not going to come back to us. If it does come back to us, being that it's burnt all around us, it should come in slower. And I just hope the rest of our community is good and the people get lucky like we got lucky.
Yeah, well, we obviously hope so too. And thank you very much for telling your story. I think it's important for people across the country to hear it. Thanks, Shelly.
You're welcome.
Shelly Lawrence is co-owner of the Rainbow Lodge.